Hey guys, I'm Dawn. Welcome to Real Simple Cooking School, and today we're back at it with more about your essential tools and equipment. I'm going to take you through a couple of my favorite bits and pieces, some crispy fish, smashed potatoes, and a little olive parsley relish to show you how to use all of them. So I've got my medium pot, potatoes in there, covered by about an inch of cold water. If we drop the potatoes into boiling water, they'd cook too fast on the outside. So they'd be mushy on the outside and like barely done on the inside. So this ensures even cooking. I'm just gonna put these on the back burner, as they say. Remember, when you're cooking with starches, that means pasta, potatoes, even like bread and bread-like things, they can handle a decent amount of salt. So I'm gonna put a good big pinch in. So I'm going to show you a couple of other things while we wait for the potatoes to come up. And that's just a super simple, yummy relish that you can put on fish, put on potatoes, put on chicken, steak, whatever. Starts with some green olives. These are Castelvetrano's, my favorite. And the only thing you have to be careful of is that the pits don't get in the olive part. Always happens. Warn your guests to chew carefully. So I've got my pitted Castelvetrano olives. I'm going to add a little shallot. Shallots, part of the onion family, but like a little milder than a big onion. If you can't find them, you could use a little scallion, or you could use like a little bit of red onion. That would work too. Trim the tip. Peel off that papery outside layer. Run your knife through it. Slowly, fast, whatever you're comfortable with. And there you have some pretty evenly chopped shallot. This works for me. Again, doesn't need to be perfect. If you want a smoother paste, again, food processor will work, but that's gonna go right in with my olives. And then a little parsley. This is flat leaf parsley, sometimes called Italian parsley. It is a great herb to keep on hand. It lasts for a really long time in the fridge, and you can eat the stems and the leaves. So I'm just gonna break off a little bit. And I like to actually start at the stem end because it can get a little unwieldy if you go the other way. And you just give it a fine chop. Think of it like chives or something. And they're gonna add great texture, big flavor. You know, parsley stems are something you often add to like chicken stock, vegetable stocks, because they have a lot of flavor. So why get rid of them when you're making other stuff? And then once I get to the leaves, I'm just going to keep it rushed because I like to keep it rough, pardon me, because I like to see what's actually in here. I think we'll hit it with a little olive oil, maybe like half a lemon. And the olives are pretty salty, so I'm just going to add like a pinch of salt, and again, some freshly ground pepper, back to my old friend pepper grinder, and we'll just give it a little stir. And this is gonna be a delicious little topper for my fish and potatoes, but again, works really well on so many things. Stick it in the fridge, it'll wait for you. Back to the rim baking sheet, add it again. So, before I smash these, I'm just gonna give them a little drizzle of oil, not measuring, and just like a little toss with my hands. This, you'll see when I smash them, this is gonna keep them from sticking to the sheet. Just wanna give it some gentle pressure so they flatten. And that's it. Just like the olive, you'll feel it give way. It's okay if they break apart a little bit more. That just introduces more like nooks and crannies to get super crispy. We're gonna flip them halfway through so they get nice and golden on both sides. And that is gonna be your new favorite potato side. Hit them with a little salt, a little pepper, and in the oven. Somewhere between 400, 450 until they're really golden and crispy. So, what I have here are just some striped bass fillets, but this works for any skin on fish. I've got a separate board here. I really like to do that anytime I'm working with meat or fish. Keep one board clean for your raw stuff, your onions, your herbs, your olives, and your finishing, and then bring on another board for the raw stuff So you can just get rid of it, throw it in the dishwasher when you're done, and make sure you're clean. There's a couple of tricks when you're searing fish. First things first, I want to pat it dry. Anytime we introduce water or liquid of any kind to like a hot fat situation, that just means hot oil, it could splatter, which is scary, dangerous. So we just want to pat it dry. Plus, if it's wet at all, it's not going to get crispy, which is not as important for the flesh side, but we do want to take advantage of this super pretty skin. Salt. And I'm seasoning the skin because I want to eat it. Now, you guys have heard me say, I think a cast iron skillet is one of the most important things you can have in the kitchen. But it can be scary to use when you're cooking more delicate items like eggs, fish, that kind of thing. And that's why I like, and when I like, a nonstick skillet. When I add the fish to the skillet, and this goes when you're adding anything to hot fat, I want to lay it away from me. That's why they call this a backsplash. And then I'm going to use my tongs and, important guest, the fish spatula. Fish spatula, as good as a regular spatula, only better. Why? Because it has this longer, thinner head and this thin, slightly beveled edge, meaning I can get under anything. I just want to make sure the whole piece of skin is making contact with the hot skillet. One of the ways to kind of safeguard against it is to cook it almost all the way through on the skin side. I'm going to season the flesh side because I didn't do that yet, and a little pepper as always. And then I'm going to take a peek. Fish cooks pretty quickly, and because I have my nice thin fish spatula, I can peek underneath and see how we're doing. It's looking very good. Now, the middle is starting to puff up. That means it's not quite there, but I can see the edges have this like really beautiful golden brown color. That's what we're going for all the way across. Okay, so my fish is looking so beautiful, if I say so myself. It's got this crispy golden brown skin, and it's just cooked through just a little bit of color on the underside. It's gonna be perfect. And these look awesome. Just remember, these were boiled, smashed with the small measuring cup. I mean, these look like the best French fries you've ever had. Okay, fish spatula, back at it again. Perfect for these potatoes. Anytime you're roasting stuff, especially the starchy stuff like potatoes, sweet potatoes, they can stick. So the fish spat gets underneath of there without tearing it up. And then a couple beautiful pieces of fish. Serve this with an easy, pretty salad, and you're good to go. One quick tip, if you are cooking your fish with the skin on, don't serve it with the skin down. It'll start to steam, and all that work you did to get that crispy, out the door. It's gonna steam and get kind of soggy again. So if you want crispy skin, skin side up. And that is another super simple, easy meal made with your basic kitchen equipment. Nothing fancy, nothing expensive, just the right stuff. This looks great. I'll see you next time, back with more tips and tricks, cooking equipment, and cooking 101. Bye.